just reaching for a piece of you.
Hey everyone, welcome to Killer Drums TV, back with special guest Jackie Barnes. I'm Tony Moore and this is a segment that we call Gear. And we're doing our retro series, and Jackie, what do we got here this week?
Ludwig Vistalite, so
Sweet.
The classic.
This is a very cool kit. We've just been mucking around setting it up and it's surprised us a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a massive fan of acrylic kits in general. I've found them, from the player's perspective, just have never done it for me.
They're a bit bright, aren't they?
They're brighter. They're not the kind of warm, kind of lower fundamental that I'm used to. But I've always I've always found that mic'd up though they sound phenomenal.
They do sound great, yeah.
However, this kit, I sat behind it, I had a hit and loved it.
Yeah, very much so actually.
Yeah,
so Jackie, answer a couple of questions for me. First of all, what evil timber is this?
Evil timber? It's the evil no timber.
It is. This is what happens when you don't use timber.
So it's an acrylic kit. They've got 45 degree bearing edges. They look like they're about 6 mil.
Yep, 6 mil, and it's got a little join. I think there's like a join line.
See the join there, the join line right there. You can see.
Yep. So that's a little piece they put on the inside. That's
piece they glue over the
fairly
join.
classic way they used to do them. So basically, the acrylic or perspex, whichever country you're from, flat sheet. It's heated, put around a mold, glued, and then a seam join's put on as well, and then it's cut. Generally, they are brighter
in tone.
Sometimes they can get a little bit boingy, but these have got silver dots on it, and I reckon that really.
Ludwig have brought back the old silver dot heads that Remo used to make for them.
Heads.
They're great. They're kind of
look at this.
Classic look. Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, nice silver dot. So that'll be equivalent to like what, a CS?
Yeah, exactly. Like a clear black dot head.
Yeah.
And that's that kind of, because this is kind of a reissue, so to speak, of the acrylic kits from the Vistalites from the 70s.
Yep.
You can see they've gone with the silver dots that they had at the time. They've gone with the blue and olive badge with that classic look. They've actually fitted this with all of the hardware that it would have had in the 70s.
Yeah.
Which is a good
and against.
There's pros and cons to that. The pros being it's got that look.
Yep.
You know, it looks like the old ones.
Slim legs. If I jump around there, now I guess one of the things, I'll just move that for a sec. One of the things we often talk about with this is resonance.
Resonance.
Hey? Now, one of our first things were how thin this was down here, and no floating feet. So normally we got floating feet. However,
it's actually got a lot of tone.
Yeah, give that a hit there.
We won't be the mics behind you, so.
Alrighty, let's do that again.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got
plenty there.
It's got a lot of resonance.
I'm going to lift it.
Yeah, I'll lift it.
I got it.
Not much
pretty
difference.
much the same.
Pretty on par. So I think you can see they've got some isolation on the actual...
Yeah, on the mount there.
The mount itself. However, there are cons as well. So for me, the old school spurs on the bass drum, they, if you're heavy-footed and have massive feet like I do.
Yep, they can kind of move.
It can move.
Give it a hit there, Jackie.
And because it's just the rubber, there's no spike that you can...
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people in the 70s actually pulled that rubber off and just exposed the spike underneath.
Yep.
Which I would probably do if I owned this kit.
Because it does kind of move, like I can see it sort of jumping in and out a bit.
Yeah.
Now we've had some... we'll come to that A&F snare, but we had the A&F kit in here, and it's got these two little spikes at the front,
but they just
never
did the
moved.
job. Yeah.
So, but anyway,
the blue and olive badge is really awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
They've, again, you've got the
rims,
the same old, tom mount kind of system there on a rim system now. Whereas that would have originally been a direct to shell.
Yeah. And sometimes with the bigger toms, the shells would craze because of the weight.
Yeah, exactly. But, at the same time, for a kit that sounds this good, I can put up with, the retro hardware.
And it really does. Hey,
it sounds great.
Genuinely, this kit sounds great. Now, a lot of people, as we are in that ballpark, aren't we? We're the ones that acrylic, it's too hard to, it's not like a kit you have for every day. But this kit actually works really well and sounds really good. And now you've put some cymbals with this. I haven't seen these before. What are these, Jackie?
So these are Istanbul Egops.
Yep.
So Turkish Symbols. We are Queensland's exclusive AGOP dealer now.
Yeah, great.
These are 2 newish series for Istanbul. They're both designed with Cindy Blackman, who's one of their top artists for me.
Yep.
She's
Who
an
used to
amazing.
play with Lenny Kravitz and now playing with Santana, who's her husband.
Married to Santana.
Yep.
She's a phenomenal
She's a
drummer.
great jazz player.
Amazing.
Wow.
So she came up with these 2 different series with AGOP. The Mantra series, which I'm mainly featuring here, which are kind of like a very versatile all-rounder. And then the Om series, you'll see this nice dark crash over here that are definitely a little dry, a little darker, but just as musical. And I find they complement each other really nicely.
So it's kind of like they've got similar hammering, but this one, it does have a darker finish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Right, so yeah, it is slightly darker, but it must be in the little coating that they've got on it.
Yeah, so they're really lovely cymbals. I've got the 15-inch Mantra hats, 18-inch Om crash, 22-inch Mantra ride, and the 20-inch Mantra crash.
Nice.
Well, let's Istanbul AGOP makes some amazing cymbals.
They're legendary. A lot of jazz players, aren't they? All over the world. You see them, like old school and everything, and they're all playing at Istanbul. So and for that reason, that Turkish K sound that they're all chasing.
They're just beautiful cymbals.
These sound really sweet. Let's have a listen to those.
Here we go. Top.
Nice bell.
It's
very nice.
It's actually quite a light bottom as well.
Light. Initially, I thought maybe like medium, but I reckon that's like a light, and this is probably a super light.
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet.
Paper thin there. It's almost buttery.
Buttery, yeah.
Actually, it is buttery.
It is buttery.
That's really nice.
Oh, that open sounds good.
The misconception with hi-hats like these is that you can't play them in like rock styles, but I do.
You do, and Jackie is going to a bit later.
Oh, they're nice.
Going to get some. That's good.
They're nice. Then the Om 18-inch crash here.
Nice.
Lovely.
Really nice. Yeah, that's great.
Really
Love
nice.
The wobble and everything.
Not too dark, but it's you know.
It is controlled.
This actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the Zildjian Karopes.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of that kind of
pick.
vibe about them. Then the Mantra 22-inch ride here.
Very nice, yeah.
Crashable.
Yeah.
It's a very versatile
stick
ride there.
definition on that.
You've got a nice bell, but it's not too
Yeah.
intense a bell. Like it's there and then it's
Did you say intensa bell?
intense a bell.
Intensa. That is a new word, everyone. Jackie's patented that intensa bell. I love it. What's
my new line of cymbals that I'm in.
Intensa bell. Intensa bell by Jackie Barnes.
Then we got the 20-inch Mantra crash here. Yeah, so these are very much like the Ks, very much like the Karopes, but you know they've got their own voice.
Certainly do.
And great job, Istanbul and
Beautiful.
Cindy Blackman for coming up with these beautiful cymbals.
Now, that snare drum.
Snare drum is.
My goodness.
Should I pick it up?
Pick it up. Well, I tell everyone about this. Like, we set this thing up. Now, we got lots of snares in the store here, and lucky Phil, the owner's not here because just went and tapped them all. This thing is incredible. This is another A&F one, so it kind of fits in with our retro vibe. My goodness, this thing is how shallow?
14 by 4 inches deep, and it's, you know, it lacks no body, lacks no bottom end. It is
really impressive.
Phenomenal. This is, and I'll say this hands down, this is the best snare drum we've played in any of our videos yet.
Yeah.
This is there.
There's only one of those here.
There aren't many of these around the world.
In fact,
this is a limited edition.
This is the first, wasn't it? This is the one he did the video on.
I believe so, yeah. So it's a 4.7 millimeter thick.
Just hold them up, show them how thick that is, isn't it?
Hand-rolled and welded aluminium, or aluminum, if you're in the States. Aluminum.
America, aluminum.
yeah, this thing is gorgeous.
So we've got brass, little single flange. I assume that's a brass flange that's been
yeah,
nickel
so it's a
plated.
nickel-plated brass hoop.
Love the nickel.
You've got the nickel-plated brass lugs, and then you've got raw brass.
What was
claws.
that bell word you had again?
And you'll notice something different about. So this is a limited edition drum, and the difference between your standard aluminium or aluminum snares or
Yep.
other A&F snare drums is that you've got the red leather. No, not red. Red felt.
Leather, red felt.
Red felt replacing the leather patches
Nice, yeah.
underneath your lugs and your badges.
Yep.
So this drum was inspired by a 1960 Mercedes-Benz.
Gullwing.
No, it was a. Actually, I've got it on my phone here. I saved it.
Let me hold this while you look it up.
You hold that.
So check out in here. Look at this. You can actually see it's laser cut, and you can actually see the red underneath it. This nickel, the nickel has a goldish hue about it. Nickel's actually a stage that's like 1 or 2 stages before chromium, but nickel plating is very expensive, and that is just such a lustrous, whatever. It's a beautiful look.
It's lush. 1960 190 SL.
Oh, 190 SL. Beautiful car.
And we'll put up a picture of one. There's
of us driving it down the road.
There's one on the A&F site that goes that this inspired. That car inspired this drum, and this thing is phenomenal. It's heavy, being held.
So what's that worth?
It's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is in Australian dollars, around the 3.5 kind of mark.
Yeah. Okay.
3.5 grand.
So, but to scale that up, what's the most expensive snare you own, perhaps?
Probably a pretty similar
Yeah.
price. Probably like a $2,500 snare, $3,000 snare.
Well, I've also got one of the Noble and Cooley Zildjian alloy snares.
Cool. They're awesome.
It is similar depth
Yep.
to that. Now they were about $5,000 back in the
Yeah.
90s.
And then you see the money that people are paying for like the old Tama Bell brass snares.
8-9 grand for a snare
Yeah.
drum.
So in the end, if you're going to play it and you're going to love it,
Yeah.
I would buy this one 100%. Like, this is gorgeous.
The way, look, Jackie and I got lots of drums, lots and lots of them. And kind of the way we approach this stuff, when we see big end price tags, we don't get too scared. Probably can't afford it sometimes. But this is how we look at it. If you're going to buy one drum, and you can only buy one drum that does lots, that's what you buy.
Yeah.
3.5K on that drum, rather than 4 or 5 drums that you've spent 6K on, that one will do all of it.
And you're buying
over.
a drum that has a really wonderful story made by good people. So
Yeah, and it's heirloom.
Yeah. That thing's
Anyway,
gonna.
I can't wait for you guys to hear this drum.
And this kit goes
Beautifully.
This kit and this snare, they just go so well together. Like, it's phenomenal.
Speaking of well together, I reckon we should put it all together and check this out. What do you reckon? Open with some Zeppelin, perhaps? I'm going to sit here and let's do some Zeppelin.
All right.
Let's bring this alive. It's really nice, like you were saying, when you're sitting behind it, it's actually really singing back all over you.
Yeah,
So good.
which surprised me, because I've played other acrylic kits that have just kind of, I've sat down, played them for a couple of minutes and gone, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm good.
And it's because a drummer's perspective has an odd feel about it,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Normally, but I'm not getting that from this kit at all.
Yeah, and quite often you'll sit at a kit and it'll feel different to how it will sound when someone's playing it and you're sitting out front. So
Yeah.
this one is just as pleasing from the player's perspective as it is from in front. And this is, straight out of the box. We've got your silver dots.
Yep,
It's got a
straight
silver
up.
dot on the bass drum as well.
Yeah.
We haven't got a
Nothing
hole
in
in
it.
the front, so I'm I'm playing the bass drum in a different way that I normally would.
Yep.
You know, so even without any muffling in there, it just sounds killer.
Yeah, sounds
It's
awesome.
awesome.
And that snare, man.
This snare is phenomenal. Oh man, it's just beautiful.
Lovely drum. All right, I'm going to grab a chair.
Play some more?
I reckon we need some toms and stuff. What's some
Yeah,
bop
yeah.
triplets and
Let's
take us to town, Jackie.
Let's go somewhere.
Everyone, Jackie Barnes.
Actually, while you make your way to the couch,
I'm making my way.
sizes.
Oh, come on. Let's
back
do
here.
it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. What do we got?
So we got a Pro Beat shell pack. So the 24
So
by
is this called Pro Beat?
yeah. So basically the Ludwig shell packs are divided into their old school names.
Oh, okay.
So Pro Beat was always the 24-inch. Downbeat was always the
Gotcha,
20-inch. Fab was always the
Beatles.
the 22.
Yep.
So this
was
is
it 22? Did Ringo play to 20, didn't he?
I think so.
Ludwig 20, 20,
yeah.
13, might have been 12 or 16.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but what has now become the Fab shell pack is the 22, 13, 16. This
Yep.
is the Pro Beat, so 24 by 14.
We love 24s.
Love 24s, especially 14D.
14D, yep.
13 by 9, 16 by 16.
Great sizes.
It's-
Really good sizes.
You know, this is my go-to live setup,
Yeah.
except I would probably have an 18, as
18.
well.
And a 10-inch tom up. You'll have to watch an old one if you don't know what that is.
And then, you know, this snare 14 by 4 A&F red limited edition A&F
Yep.
snare, 14 by 4, 4.7 mil hand rolled aluminium, and
Beautiful.
the Istanbul AGOP mantras and Om series cymbals. So let's hear
Love
them.
it. Let's hear them all. Awesome. Rocking that. Dude, that snare drum. Wow.
Oh man, this whole thing.
We need a couple. Remy, come on.
Come on, Rummy, make
That
some
is
more.
so nice.
Man, it's
Hey, those cymbals really speak well.
yeah.
I find they go voice and they shimmer and then they sort of just
They're not too
fade
in your
off.
face.
Yeah. Reminds me a little of your youth hips.
The 31s, yeah.
31s, yeah. So they just
I tend
more
to
controlled.
pick similar sounds, a certain sound, you know.
Oh man, that's a great kit. Thanks for introducing us to that one. That sounds really nice. Fun to play?
Oh yeah,
You looked like you're having fun there.
a little too fun. I kind of got a little carried away there and kind of went off the rails a little, so I apologise.
So if you guys are looking for a second-hand drum set, call up Maluma Music
Or come to my house.
or Jackie's Place. That's what she got, Jackie's Place. Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Killer drums today. This is Giga Gear, the Retro Series. Thank you, Jackie Barnes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ludwig Drums. Thank you, Istanbul
AGOP, yeah.
Symbols.
A&F
and
Drum Co.
A&F Drum Co. Lift that up one more time and give it an applause.
Yes.
Love that drum.
Yes.
Awesome.
And, cool. We'll see you later, guys.
Jackie's off. I'm Tony Moore. Thank you, Malulbar Music. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.